go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, so overall, it felt like a Vikings mixed bag of nuts, right? Because you had like all of these highs and all of these lows.
Yeah.
Because you had the
Vikings
red zone fumble by Aaron Jones at the
To
beginning
start
of the
the game, yeah.
You had the blocked field goal, save points, but then you had a failed fourth down conversion when you probably maybe take a shot at getting the 3.
And then I kind of saw a little nugget that there was 2 scoring plays in this game that the refs messed up. Even after the replay, everyone goes, obviously, it should have been called this way, but it went the other way.
Danny Dimes, though, released by the New York Giants per request.
Where's he going to go?
Well, for a minute there on Sunday, it looked like it could have been Minnesota with Sam Darnold laying on his back, but he was fine.
Get laced up. Let's go. It's time for Banter with the boys.
Yo, 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 welcome back to Banter with the Boys. Gridiron updates, week 13. Right. As you can see up here, well, maybe you can't because you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Thank you for that, by the way. We have Rachel back this week with us. Rachel, welcome back. Week 2. Well, it's week 13.
I mean, for me, yeah.
Week 2 for you. Yeah.
Representing the ladies.
Ayo.
Yep, like it.
Did you enjoy your time last week?
Yes, and I enjoyed the men, and thank you for having me, guys, boys, men. Boys to men, yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There
I
we
like
go.
it all.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm going to leave that alone. Jake, right next to me. Jake, welcome back. It's been a hot minute, pretty much a good chunk of the season. But
it's been
what's
what,
poppin'?
a month?
No, longer than that.
Feels short, but also feels long.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no,
feels
it's
short, but also feels long. Interesting. I could go. Yeah.
Yep.
Jake,
moving on.
What's going on? How's it been?
It's been pretty good. Pretty good. Ravens have been looking pretty solid. A little bump in a hiccup against the Steelers, but to be expected. Still looking strong.
For sure. Division game. Tough.
Yep.
Yeah, still looking good. You got to be still feeling good.
Yep.
Steel feeling good. Is that what you said? Steel
Feeling
feeling good. Steel feeling good. Oh, Steelers fans. That could be their new thing. We're still feeling good.
Ooh. T-shirt.
Heyo.
Write it down.
Still feeling good. Anyway, that's dumb. Anyway, with that, let's move into our Week 12 game recaps, Kev. Oh, yeah. Don't forget Kev behind the camera.
Hey, Kev.
As always.
And I'm Rob.
Oh, yeah. And I'm Smeltzy. Yeah, wow. That was a horrible intro. I tried. That's all right.
All good.
Move on. Thank you, Kev. Sorry about that intro. That was a tornado going through a cornfield, and we're all corn, so we're screwed.
We'll survive, though.
Anyway, yeah, we're good. Anyway, moving on. All right, Vikings traveling to Chicago, the Windy City, and it was Chile. But the Vikings somehow surviving. We knew it would be a struggle, though. We knew it was going to be a close game, division battle. A lot of division games this year have been close.
Yes, they have.
No matter what division it is. There's something about that division game that just means that little bit more. But Rachel, no, just kidding. But
That's
Rachel,
fine.
what did you see in this game? Was this exciting to you, or were you like nervous, like on the edge of your seat, like oh god, it's gonna come down to a kick for us again, and OT against the Bears?
I mean, do I need to say much more? You know what? Here's what I think. The Bears, they have that new offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown.
You like him?
Yeah, well, he's obviously made a difference. This is his second game, and the Bears' offense played really well. The first half, they dominated the time of possession. We had that fumble in the beginning that changed things, right? They got the ball. Our defense was sitting around. They were out in the field a lot instead of sitting around getting a break, waiting to be out there. So that was one of the differences, right?
Fair enough.
And yeah, I think that we managed to win, and it was like the most stress I've had all year. So I'm not complaining about it too much. It was like 2 years ago that was every game. So this year I'm like, it's one game.
Yeah,
but you got to have that belief,
You do.
So we made it through. We had challenges, and we still won.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
The part that made me nervous is we both traded possessions in overtime. I was like, okay, here we go. Like, don't end in a tie at least. Like, somebody win this game. Because both teams played well. Somebody deserved to win that game. Sometimes when you get to an overtime situation and it's still a tie, you're like, okay, 6-6 or whatever. Neither of these teams deserve to win this game. But
I mean, as a Vikings fan, that's a game we typically lose in the past.
Fair enough.
You know,
yes,
like it had that like
We're very used to
really.
that.
We were
Yes.
up by 2 scores with 2 minutes left. They get that kick return, put them quickly in. Defense is tired from the last possession holding them, you know.
Typical.
But then we, go 3 and out quickly and then extend that game with that kickoff and then it was tough, but Caleb Williams played probably the best game I've seen him play all year. So the Bears,
Is he
still have
trending
it.
up for you now?
He's definitely trending up. The defense is trending downwards typically right now. They cannot stop
Ivan
running the
Pace
ball.
just hit IR too.
Well, not against the Vikings. I'm saying the Bears style.
the Bears
but
defense.
The Vikings defense, they played pretty well pretty well. I mean, Gernard, look at he had 4 TFLs, 2 sacks.
Yeah,
I mean,
great
is
game for
he
him.
like defensive MVP conversation at this point?
No, for the league?
I don't know. Like, have you seen?
No.
No?
I don't think he's been that.
Absolutely not.
He's been
Who
in
do you got?
he-
Who do you got over him right now? Parsons not.
for defensive.
even
defensive
Bosa?
MVP?
No.
no. So it's gonna come down to Myles Garrett and TJ.
I would
Watt
say
again.
NFC.
Oh, in the NFC.
No, I don't because I'd have to look at where he's stacked up. But like personally, even within the same team, it's questionable because Van Ginkel's playing out of his mind as well.
I'm not denying that, but still, I think Gernard's numbers overall are still better than.
Like good enough for NFC Defensive Player of the Year.
I think the injuries
Wow.
in the NFC on the defensive side,
Which has happened.
which brings that into that conversation.
Interesting.
So, but I mean, Sam played another second game coming back from the back to the Jacksonville game. We ran the ball nice. Jefferson got bracketed like crazy. Addison stepped up where he needed to. Hawk with another nice game. So it felt good. The end felt weird, but if we stop them on that kickoff, at the 25-yard line, that might be a whole different finish, and we're having a whole different vibe.
Go for it.
Oh, I was
do
gonna
you
say. So overall, it felt like a Vikings mixed bag of nuts, right? Because you had like all of these
a
highs
good
and
way to
all of
put
these
that.
lows.
Yeah,
Because you had the
Vikings trail
red
mix.
zone fumble by Aaron Jones at the
to
beginning.
start
of the
the game. Yep.
You had the
Unbelievable.
block field goal, save points, but then you had a failed 4th down conversion when you probably maybe take a shot at getting the 3 points instead of going for it. Would have been a 52-yarder, but I don't know. That's kind of a coin toss.
It was 14-mile-an-hour winds in Chicago that day.
Right. So I didn't necessarily agree with that 4th down.
pitching wedge.
But yeah. And Jordan Addison, Hawkinson, and even Aaron Jones, they all
Went
stepped
off.
up.
Yeah,
they did.
Aaron Jones had a quiet 103, right? And it was just silent and deadly
He
Aaron
did.
Jones.
Yeah, it was kind of a quiet 103, 106, whatever.
Yeah.
He had a better first half. Second half, I think that's where he had quiet. So
100%.
that's why I feel like it
100%.
seems like a quiet game.
And then the Vikings defense is still strong. They shut down the Bears running game. Caleb Williams was their leading rusher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Well, we got to remember we lost Cam Robinson in the game, right?
that is
Right,
true.
that's-
Questenberry came in. We're like, we need a healing on the offensive line there because we have that injury problem.
And the last,
right?
and the
And we're
last,
under our 3rd offensive lineman, so like that makes a difference.
the last
but,
time Quisenberry came in, he got blown up too. So
yeah,
But he played well. Like
Yeah.
we didn't.
played
They
all
didn't say
right.
his
He
name
played all
once.
right
They
the
didn't-
rest of the game.
I mean,
Yeah.
as long
And
as,
if We'll have to see his PFF grade.
but hopefully Cam Robinson's back. It was just like a ankle or whatever. I don't really know.
I don't have an update on you
Yeah,
guys.
we'll provide an update
Okay.
in a
Okay,
minute.
Great.
well,
We'll see if he can.
It'd be a
play
good
this
time
week.
for it right now.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Unless you know.
I don't
We
know.
don't know.
I
So
don't know. I thought
I've
you
read
did.
something that it's the same foot injury that he's continued to have. So
I
he's
thought I saw that
So he's
too.
probably going to be back next week. So
All right.
be optimistic about that.
Okay.
Optimistic about Cam Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need it.
We do.
We do need it. The last thing I'll say about this game that does concern me is how the Bears were able to kind of contain Justin Jefferson a little bit. Yes, it opened it up for Addison and TJ, and thank God we have those guys as well, right? But it's kind of like, did the Bears just show the rest of the league what can be done to try to slow this dude down? Or are you not concerned at all? I'm like, well, it's JJ, so
Not
he'll
concerned.
be back to J Jettas next
Yeah,
week.
No, I'm not concerned because Jordan Addison and Hawkinson,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like you're showing that hey, we've got a good 2 and we've got a good 3. That if Justin Jefferson gets like doubled all game long,
Then you're
or
good.
tripled-
Yeah. If they don't
Other
show,
weapons,
if they
for
don't
sure.
show
Yeah.
up, then I'm concerned.
Right,
You know.
absolutely.
You know. So
Right.
you're good. If otherwise, yeah. So you're good to
'Cause that's
go.
the idea. If you're getting triple teamed by somebody, somebody's bound to
Yeah.
yelp.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So Cam Robinson is. We'll see. We'll see. So
Okay.
hopefully not Quisenberry. No offense. I know you're listening, buddy. Yeah. Moving on. Vikes get the dub 30-27, wasn't it? That sounds right. 30-27 in overtime. The Packer game. 49ers traveling to Green Bay without. After we recorded, we have found out that Purdy and Bosa were not playing in the game. That
Yeah.
might have changed some picks for some people.
We talked about the
No
injury
Trent
thing, though.
Williams.
Yeah,
either.
we did.
No
We
Trent
said-
Williams that game either?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're missing half the squad. CMC only went for 31 yards, 11 carries.
It wasn't Purdy.
No,
More than
it
Purdy.
Oh, it wasn't Purdy.
I like it.
Heyo. Sitting on that.
So obviously you watched
So
the
that
game.
must have been an issue.
Oh, I did. You know what? I have this fun fact. I got to find it, though. The 49ers haven't lost in 55 regular season games. No, they haven't allowed a 100-yard plus rusher, in 55 regular season games.
Wow.
I
Until
can believe that.
Jacob Jones,
Yeah.
106 yards.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh
Jacobs.
That's
But-
really 55 home
That's a
games.
long time.
How many seasons do the
55
math?
55
games
games.
total.
55 games.
55 games,
Yeah.
regular
That's
season
a few
games.
seasons.
I mean, that's 8 a year, so that's what, 9 seasons ish.
But that's
no,
why they've
that's
been.
like 17. No, it's like 17 games.
It's a lot, okay?
Yeah, all right,
we
it's
don't know
enough.
the number.
It's like 2.5
Math is
seasons.
hard.
It's like 2.5
everybody.
seasons.
Stay in
gotcha.
school.
But
I
still,
had to
that's
bring
why
that
the
up.
Niners are so high though every year is because
True,
of their defense.
yeah.
You know, we know their
Yeah.
defense is going to carry them a little bit, and then you had Purdy just show up and
Yep.
start doing his thing. But safe to say Brandon Allen did not quite get it done.
No. From Arkansas, 6th rounder,
but-
Jacksonville.
But neither did their defense either. I mean, it was just
Wow, they're on the field all day. What are they
it
going
was
to
just
do?
a Josh Jacobs show, and that's exactly it, right? What was their time of possession? Should be right here.
ended up
'cause the
being a lot
Packers
closer
was
at the end,
36
though.
minutes. Yeah, it was 36-23.
But that first half, it was distinctively.
different.
all
Yeah.
Packers.
Yeah.
It was like I think the first quarter, the 49ers only had 6 total offensive plays.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're not
What are you
gonna
going to
win.
do with that?
Yeah.
Gonna cut it.
That's when I shut it off.
That's when you went over
Yeah.
to the Broncos
Second,
Raiders game.
yeah, I was like, I'm moving on from that. And that game was actually not that great either, but
Right.
it was a little more at least competitive.
Yeah,
Competitively bad. That's what it was.
So, I mean, a good win for Green Bay overall at home. Josh Jacobs doing his thing, getting that 20 plus carries. We, not necessarily
Hit
that
the
we wanna
number,
see,
yeah.
but what we've been saying that you kind of want to see.
That's
from the
when he's
Packers.
good. When he gets 20 touches, that's when he's good.
Yep. Jordan Love, 13 for 23, 163. Nothing too crazy, but I mean,
And he doesn't have to be crazy.
Doesn't have
when-
to.
didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
what I
they
mean?
got young players. They started to get momentum at the end of last year, and it's like really continued to go through this whole season right now. And if you want to get to the playoffs, you're going to have to go through the NFC North, right?
Oh, 100% at
So-
this point. Yeah.
We're hard to beat no matter what team.
Well,
you're
no,
playing.
we'll be on the road, actually, the Vikings and the Packers in the wild card.
Well, at the
Well,
moment.
don't just give
calm
the
down.
Lions the title here on the NFC.
Well, true.
North.
Actually,
Don't
I
just
said
give
the
it away.
Lions and the Packers.
There we go.
All right,
That
my
sounds
bad. My
better.
bad.
Yeah.
We cut
Jake
that out,
doesn't
Kevin.
care,
All
but
right,
yeah,
you
it
got
sounds
that?
better. But yeah, Vikes only one game behind Detroit. That could change.
That's fair.
That
That's
could
fair.
change. That could change. But yeah, not much else to say. It's kind of a blowout. Obviously, Packers getting the win, 38-10. Still staying with the pace in the NFC North right now. Who knows? They could still absolutely win the division. How many games do we have left now at this point? 1, 2, 3,
6?
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 games. Who knows? That could flip. There's
It
still
is.
division games to be played.
Yeah.
You never know. Bears again, not going to be easy, and I think they've only played them once. The Packers, I can't remember, but never mind. No, I'm lying.
No,
Sorry,
they
just
got
bear
twice.
with me.
No, you're good. You're good. No,
They end the season against the Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Yeah, but
And the best part,
But
we
they still
end
have
the
a
se-
Vikings game too.
Oh,
we're not worried about
we in the season with
that. I am
Packers.
actually really
Yeah,
worried
it's
about
like
that.
right
no,
now,
no,
maybe
we
you
end
might be
against the
worried.
Lions.
Yeah,
The Vikings against the
Oh.
Lions.
yeah, at home.
So how sweet would that be for the division? I think that'd be the first time that would happen.
No, I doubt it. For
No,
the division in the last game of the season.
For the I think typically it's for the conference. You usually have like, if that team loses, then the other, like
I feel it's
like
came down to a game before. You don't think so?
I don't know. We'll have to look
We'll
that
have to
up.
find that out.
I don't know. I don't
feel
think
like
it's
it has.
ever came down to
In
the
all
last.
the years of the NFL, it's never came down to the last game of the season to
sure it
decide a
has.
decision.
Yes.
Decide a division.
where they played each other.
Oh, where they played each other to decide the division. It's
I bet
gotta
it
have
has.
had.
I feel
All
like
right,
it
we'll have to look
has.
that up.
One
We'll-
of the
We'll bring that back next
All
week.
right. Put well,
Well, because the NFL kind of rescheduled that, to end with the division towards, the end for those kind of matchups.
Yep.
sure,
you know?
yeah, for sure, and we're gonna potentially get one. So, yeah, Green Bay getting the win. Oh well. Again, staying with the NFC North. Green Bay. I'm sorry, we just talked about Green Bay. Arizona traveling to Seattle. We knew that was gonna be a tough, close game. It was lower scoring than I thought it would be.
Good old division game.
I know Seattle's defense is they're flowing right now, but I figured this would have been
That
just a
place
little
was-
bit higher scoring,
yeah, and that place was rocking too.
for sure. Which we
so-
knew it was going to be. You
Yeah.
know, it's Seattle fans come out in force.
The Seattle Seahawks have beat the Cardinals 6 times in a row.
Really?
Ooh.
6 straight win.
What do you think about
Interesting.
that? They own you.
Where was that nugget when I needed it last week?
Oh.
Right?
Well,
Me
you
too.
have it now.
Yep.
And they play the Cardinals in 2 more weeks. So maybe we'll just do that game, and now you know.
All right.
Well, now I got to go Seahawks, and now the Cardinals are going to get the dub.
So was their defense really that great? Like
Who's?
Seahawks.
I don't think either is.
I don't
was really
think
that
either of
good.
them played that well. I think it was just poor execution on both sides of the ball for both teams. It just seemed like a really off game to me. Rob's got something. To
Yeah,
say.
I mean that pick six by Kobe Bryant kind of was the thing of the change the whole game. Williams, the DN from them, he was just creating havoc on the highlights I was on. He had
Yeah,
2.5
he was
half
all over that
sacks,
game.
and then I kind of saw a little nugget that there was 2 scoring plays in this game that the refs messed up. Even after the replay, everyone goes, obviously it should have been called this way, but it went the other way. So it was like a hold that was
in
not
favor of Arizona.
that they were non-touchdowns because of it. Both teams got kind of screwed twice.
Officiating's
Or
been
once.
really weird all year.
Yeah, especially on their
Again, why they were
replays.
bonehead move of
Yeah.
the week last week for sure.
So these 2 qualify into the bonehead part. So
fair enough. Yeah, I mean, hard fought division game. Now Seattle takes a division lead. They got a tied record, but obviously winning the head to head. And again, they play in 2 more weeks.
yeah,
Too early to tell.
Who's
right?
gonna
Too
win
early
that
to say
division?
Who's
Nobody
yeah,
wants to win
seriously,
that
who is
division.
winning the
Who is-
division? Because the
Doesn't
Rams
seem
still
like
at
it.
5-6. San Francisco still at 5-6, and San Francisco's been, I almost said something else, really bad all year, and they absolutely still have an opportunity to win this if they can get fully healthy. They could go on a run still.
they are. They totally could. But let me throw this question to the whole group out then. Between these 3 teams, the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Bengals, which one's going to make the playoffs?
Between the 49ers, Dolphins, and the Bengals.
Yes. 49ers have an opportunity to win their own division, and then the Bengals and also the Dolphins being the AFC, which is a side that you could probably squeeze in at 500.
The Bengals.
The Bengals are going to have to win out. I think that's pretty hard.
They have the worst record too.
Probably the
right now.
Dolphins right now because
Okay.
the Dolphins are getting hot too.
Okay.
And have a winnable game this week. Well, winnable-ish game this week in Green Bay.
So then you're all agreeing that the 49ers are not making the playoffs.
Depends on their injuries.
Which
They've
is
got
crazy
so
again
many.
because they're
would-
only one.
Because they're not going to
away.
get a wild card.
No, they're gonna have to
I
win
would not
the
balk at
division.
that.
That's another tough division. I don't know. I have no idea who's going to win.
I'm
that
going
division.
Dolphins. I said it a couple weeks ago. The Dolphins are
Who
making
did I
the
pick?
playoffs.
Do you remember who I picked to win that division? It was either Seattle or Arizona. No, we both picked 49ers.
We both
didn't
picked 49ers.
Well,
No,
Which
look
they
at-
still have an
look at me
opportunity.
trying to
Like
think that
everybody
we're
picked
smart.
49ers.
Look at me trying to think we're smart.
Hey, they're still in it.
Yeah. It could still happen. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. So,
No,
little nugget to think about.
Interesting. But yeah, not much else to go on here. Moving on to Philadelphia going to LA. We had 2 games in LA this week. Game 1, if you will. Philadelphia playing the Rams. Philly getting the dub 37-20. I was the only one to pick the Rams. But yeah, the Eagles
They were competitive in the first half, so you can take that as a moral
The
win.
whatever. The Eagles just keep rolling. I mean, Saquon is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, when you
Oh, he's on my
average
fantasy team too.
when you
Oh, I
average
love it.
Lucky.
almost 10 yards a carry in a game and you're running for 255 yards, that's just Why do anything else?
So what's
Why
the
even think?
rushing record? Is it 295?
No,
a
it was like
game?
326.
No,
or
in
something.
a single game, I
In
think
a
it's
single game.
No,
290.
you're right. It is
290
290.
295 by
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson, right? Or is it Adrian?
No,
Peterson?
Adrian Peterson, 296.
296.
Yeah.
296.
It was
there you go.
Dickerson.
It takes a
Yeah, he beat-
collective
yeah,
to
yeah.
come up with these answers.
Oh, I knew it the whole time. I was just
It
waiting.
was
to
against
see.
the it was against the
Check out the
Chargers
big
too.
brain on that guy.
It was against the Chargers too.
There was
Oh,
actually.
Yeah.
Even when he needed a rest, Gainwell went in and scored again. So like their running game seriously on
Mm-hmm.
point. And Jalen Hurts was just like, here,
So-
who wants this ball next?
He
There-
again
there
did
was-
enough to win.
There was
for
a
sure.
couple of awesome camera shots of just Jalen Hurts and the dumb smirk he had on his face
Yeah.
after those Saquon touchdowns because he's just like, I don't have to do anything when I
Yeah,
got a guy
like,
this good on my
Having
team.
fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
the best part of playing sports is having
AJ
fun.
Brown is also like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's winning, Detroit or the Eagles for the NFC Championship?
God,
If
that's-
they played right
That's
now.
gonna be such a
I
great
NFC
know.
game.
Championship in Detroit, Eagles versus Detroit right now. Who would win that game? That would be a ridiculous game, but obviously we know the Vikings are going to the bowl. but-
Yeah. I mean, if I had to, I would in my heart want the Lions to win because I would rather see them win. Sorry,
well, and we have a
Philly
hatred
fans.
for the
Right,
Eagles,
so-
rightfully
The
so.
Lions.
linebacker for the Lions, Anatonzi or whatever the long
Anzalone.
is he?
Anzalone.
Is he gonna play?
Anzalone.
What did I say?
If he plays,
Anzalone.
yeah. If he plays, Detroit wins.
yeah, and I think he's still out right
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think he's the difference.
He's
in-
the glue guy for
If
the defense.
if I'm gonna pick the winner of it right now, that's where I'm going with the current injuries of the both team statuses.
Yeah, I guess we need to. We also need to know like what's the status of David Montgomery because he left.
True.
He left the
That-
game
yeah,
with an injury.
Both teams are healthy.
Both teams are healthy Lions.
Okay,
Sonic and Knuckles.
really?
Yeah.
Does that mean Hutchins is back?
No,
No.
Other than Aiden Hutchinson,
No.
sorry. Other than Aiden Hutchinson, come on. I did say both teams healthy,
All
but
right,
he's
well.
still, I mean, come on.
Right.
Other fun fact is Saquon Barkley had more yards from scrimmage than 9 teams
This week.
this week.
There was some low scoring
insanity.
overall in the NFL this
Yeah.
week. A lot of field goals throughout the league.
And the most insulting one, of course, is obviously that he had more scrimmage yards than the Giants did.
Well,
I
and
know.
Malik,
surprising.
Malik Neighbors made that. No.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that whole thing on HBO, the Hard Knocks with
Yeah.
the owner and that getting played over and over on X
Oh,
right
yeah.
now of them not keeping Barkley and the owner going, God, he's kind of our best player. He sells the most jerseys. I don't really want him to go to Philly. And
We're gonna have to dig up tape, but I thought I said in week 1 it was dumb that they
It was.
kept Daniels and didn't re-sign Barkley. They should have done it the other way around.
well,
I know none of them are there.
Yeah.
And that goes with your argument about running backs. You know, are they back? Are they making a big difference? We see kind of the rushing battle right now between Saquon and Derrick Henry, but there's other running backs that are making a difference on their teams. J.K. Dobbins for the Chargers, that offense looks different.
Mhm.
When Aaron Jones is in the game, the Vikings look a little bit different.
yeah.
You know, are we seeing the return
Of the
guess,
value of
the
a
value
running
of a
back.
running back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's value. It's whether or not ownership wants to pay for it.
And that's just it, right?
True. Is it fantasy football what ruined the running back then? Because there's not as much value as in running backs, I guess, as the receivers, though, you know? So, and everyone likes the throwing of the ball.
It's
gotta
more
have-
flashy.
You have to have a run game in order to have a winning offense. You have to have the balance
100%.
Agreed.
of both of those ingredients. And I don't think the running backs ever died. It's just sometimes they get old. They get, that's why we have Cam Akers, right? Because it's a balance between Aaron Jones taking all of, the possessions, and you just got to mix it up. You got to have a running back by committee, but you got to have that main leader.
You need them.
Need them.
They never left my heart.
Never. Good. That's good. Well, glad we established that. Ravens. Jake's Ravens traveling to L.A. as well for Game 2 in L.A. at
Yeah.
SoFi.
For the Harbowl.
For the Harbowl. Ayo. God, a lot of good one-liners. Good job.
Yeah.
fellas.
The third
Anyway,
meeting of the brothers.
That's
The,
right.
the third meeting of the brothers.
Repeat.
I am wearing the Chargers jersey. I said last week I'd wear it. It is a Herbie jersey, but
I can confirm.
wait, this way. There it is. Yeah, he can confirm. But I wish it was for a win though. So that
I'm not
sucks.
sorry.
That sucks. And the game wasn't as close as the score is really showing.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as J.K. Dobbins went down, the Chargers offense seriously looked different.
Williams can't catch a cold
No
right
hate
now.
on Gus, but yeah, can't catch it. And then what's his name? Quinton Johnson as well.
Oh, that's
dropping
what I
a
meant.
couple big.
Yeah, not Williams. He was the other receiver they got rid of because he couldn't catch a cold.
Yeah. So Quinton Johnson, dropping a couple big plays
It's
late.
contagious over there in that freaking receiver room.
Contagious. That's why.
Even though Conky, I
that's why-
kind of like him though.
That's why
Oh,
Jalen
he
Reagor's
looked
in that
so
room,
good.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, McConkey, another great game from him. But yeah, again, just different. But your Baltimore Ravens defense came to play this week, looking a lot better, to be honest with you.
Without Smith.
Sort of. I think it's hit and miss.
Even
They-
before Dobbins went down, they let up a couple Dobbins runs.
So they
but-
got steamrolled on that first drive, and it looked and felt like the defense is still going to be.
I know. I felt good at that point.
But they
Then it changed.
They short some things up. Unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins got hurt. But
Typical.
I'm not sold on that Ravens defense yet. I still feel like they're a pretty big sieve, especially in the secondary right now. They did miss
It's a hockey
Roquan.
term for you people out there.
They did miss Roquan Smith a lot, just with commanding that defense, and then having to put Kyle Hamilton back up in the box without Roquan Smith, put more pressure on that secondary too. That first 4th and 1 that the Ravens went for on their 16, I was scratching my head even at the beginning. I was just like, I'm usually a go for it kind of guy.
All right.
But for that one, I'm like, on the 16, I don't know.
Did they get it?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
That was the Mark Andrews sneak,
Oh, yep.
and then that led to their second touchdown drive. But yeah, it was. I think they played a gutsy, or their offense was gutsy. Push or Derrick Henry running the ball again a lot. 24 carries, 140 yards, which is what you want out of Derrick Henry. But yeah, I'm still worried about that Ravens secondary. Too many PIs in garbage time.
A lot of penalties. A
Which is
lot
like
of
absolutely
penalties. Still
ridiculous.
continuing
But
on that.
again, some of them are sus. I mean, obviously the refs didn't listen to our episode last week when we talked about them. I mean, again,
Can't see
neither
or
did the
hear now.
Shield. the Shield obviously didn't listen either because they got to figure this thing out. I mean, seriously, there's even one against JJ this week that I was like, come on. The first one was fine, but the second one I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. So you can't give those up late.
I was good. The one that didn't get called, which was kind of a break, was the one that they picked up that was uncatchable. And was like, well, it was uncatchable because he was just getting mauled. So, I mean, at what point it's like it should have still been called against the Ravens. But like,
All right, as a Raisin fan, halfway through the 2/3 almost through the season, where are you ranking in the AFC?
in the AFC,
Where would you put them?
4th.
So you got Bills,
Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens.
Steelers
Yep.
still. All right.
Why? Because of their defense?
Their defense, they've got Lamar Jackson's number. I think Lamar is 1-8 against the Steelers in his career. So they've got something in their playbook against him. So,
All right.
and until Lamar can beat them, Steelers over Ravens.
Kryptonite.
Got it. All right.
Well, the Ravens did face a good defense this week, like like they did last week with the Steelers. But they still scored more points. They got all the weapons. Everybody was scoring. Lamar scored. Did Bateman or Flowers score? I don't remember.
Bateman got it, yeah.
So they.
I
got
think you have
everybody in there.
another
Skew
purple
up.
They
fan
got
over
everybody in
here.
there.
It's easy to sway when it's the same color
Yeah,
or similar
Well, but
shade.
they have a lot of good offensive weapons, so they're easy to remember those players.
Yep.
they do.
But again, they do need to work on their defense if they're going to keep going and competing in
And-
that AFC.
And if they want to make a deep
Yeah.
run in
Yep.
the
I'm
playoffs.
gonna steal a Rob note, and he said that the Ravens looked experienced, and
No, I did.
I think it's their offense, because this is like the third or fourth week in a row that they got themselves in a deficit, and that offense, like playing from behind, got them back into the game. And that's something that as a Ravens fan or as a Ravens team, you've missed the past 3 or 4 years. It's like, oh, they're playing from behind. Lamar's just going to like play huck 'em chuck 'em football, and you're going to hope for the best. But this year it's been we're sticking to the run game. We're giving the ball to Derrick Henry, and then we're still gonna keep punching you in the face, and then see who wins in the end.
Until you play Pittsburgh, and they're like, yeah, we're steel here.
Yeah,
Steal here.
With that, Kev, let's head into our tent talk.
911, what's your emergency?
And to start off our tent talk, not a lot going on as far as injuries go. Ivan Pace for the Vikes hitting the IR this week. A little unfortunate for us.
Hill, we need to fill in.
I know. Just because we cover the Packers, Jair Alexander's still out at the moment. Xavier McKinney's still out at the moment.
Yeah.
Those are 2 hits for the Packers, especially when we're coming up to picks, later. Like you said, David Montgomery, he did practice today, but he was limited, so I don't know.
He'll be all right.
Well, and even if they don't have
dog.
him, do you think they're all right without David Montgomery for 1 game?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay.
Gibbs is enough.
Yeah.
yeah, Gibbs is enough.
Well, who do they play to?
Who are the Pack? Detroit?
Lions.
Somebody lowish.
Sorry.
Lowish. Hold on, stand by. I have it.
Because if it's something good,
Chicago.
maybe. Oh,
In Detroit, though.
yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Well, we need Chicago to win that game, actually, is what needs
We
to
do,
happen.
but go Caleb. See, God, I'm on that bag on there.
You know who was practicing today? Isaiah Pacheco. That would not be ideal for the rest of the AFC.
AFC fans?
Would not be ideal for anybody.
Yeah, or anybody for that matter. But yeah, not a ton more injuries that I can remember anyway. I guess Tommy DeVito also not feeling super awesome. Not 100% quote.
He's just
to
probably
play on
feeling
Thursday.
morally defeated
I would
because
when
Baker Mayfield stole his touchdown dance. It was so good.
God, he was really aggressive with it too.
Yeah.
Like insanely aggressive with it, and then he did it forever. The duration of the celebration was ridiculous. I was like,
I'm a Baker
"Is this on
fan.
replay
I
or
like
not?"
it. I love it.
I know. I would have took Baker here.
I know. I'm becoming a Baker fan more and more now. I love it.
Baker's a baller.
He is.
He's a
He
baller.
comes to play.
No receivers, just throwing W's out.
Baker's a baller. The little bit of news we have, not a ton out there today. Danny Dimes, though, released by the New York Giants per request.
Where's he going to go?
Well, for a minute there on Sunday, it looked like it could have been Minnesota with Sam Darnold laying on his back, but
Ooh.
but he was fine. He was fine.
He seems fine. He said he needed to just walk it off, so I feel comfortable.
But I think Daniel Jones just needs a change of scenery. I think he'll get an opportunity somewhere in a backup role.
For sure he will.
And we'll definitely see some playing time again at some point. And maybe pull a Geno Smith on us. Play well enough somewhere that he gets a little 3-year deal. But
I hope he does. I hope he does.
I think him playing safety in practice was it for him. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
He's playing scout team safety.
What I heard is not team player.
Oh.
Tell me more.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. You're downgraded from starting quarterback in the NFL. And now you're playing scout team safety, and Tommy DeVito is starting. Like, come on, man.
He's just
like,
saying he's an athlete. That's all he's saying.
yeah. But
Well, is he cleared the waivers today? Did he?
Yes, he has cleared waivers.
So where's he going to go?
There's more
the Jets.
There's more teams interested in him than I had anticipated.
Did you hear
Raiders for
who?
sure.
So Raiders, Ravens. I mean, there's been talks about
Panthers,
Vikings,
Chargers,
Panthers.
Vikings.
He could go to San Francisco and be a backup and learn behind Kyle Shanahan, which would actually probably be really good for
That'd
him.
be good for him.
Because I
Yeah,
think we're
Brandon
seeing
Allen
and
doesn't
learn.
look like the answer.
Yeah, because we're seeing
Actually, he played okay, actually, towards especially the second half. But anyways, continue.
because there's just a quarterback development problem. You get all of these young college quarterbacks drafted high, thrown into the fire, and like they're expected to produce and be productive right out of the gates. And
Well, and we've definitely touched on that before. Like,
Yeah.
why are more teams not going the Green Bay Packer approach
Right.
at this point? Because it seems to be working.
It's so hard.
For sure. Oh, for sure. It's like, oh man, my nice shiny new Ferrari, and I'm just gonna park it in the garage
Yeah.
for 4 summers in a row. No, man, that's not gonna happen. But
Rachel's not parking it, are you?
And we're not saying like you have to do it 4 years, but at least don't start them their first year.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, look at Carolina. They haven't had even Baker Mayfield was there. Sam Darnold was there. They had, I mean, they just quarterback carousel, and nobody sticks. So like, there's a problem there beyond just a QB coach, right, and QB development. But I get what you're saying. It's happening to a lot of these early draft.
But
picks.
you do get a couple like C.J. Stroud and
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
But Bryce Young was actually kind of jumping up the last couple. I'm just just
Yeah.
FYI out there if you haven't seen him. He's kind of slanging it lately.
I was not ready to give up on Bryce Young.
I know, but if just the last 2 weeks, he's been, I don't know, something's turned, something's different.
Fair enough.
So
drinking from a different spigot. I don't know.
well, yeah, I watched the Chiefs game, and he played well against the Chiefs. He was thrown with anticipation. He was just chucking, and like, I don't give a.
You have to at this point if you're Bryce Young.
That's how you got to play the NFL.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, for sure. The only other thing I really wanted to touch on is Jerry Jones came out and said something that it wouldn't be that crazy or crazy at all or something along those lines if they were to give Mike McCarthy an extension. And we kind of touched on that last week.
I didn't hear this.
Who was it? Oh, man. I think
Dion.
it was Dom.
Yeah.
I think it was Dom a couple of weeks ago, actually, that talked about why would you not give him an extension? I mean, it's hard to go 12-5,
Last
multiple seasons in a row. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Since you're back on the show here, what do you think? Should the Cowboys give Mike McCarthy an extension? Obviously on his last year right now, and not making the playoffs this season with half your team injured.
So their record being what it is can't put all of that fault on Mike McCarthy.
I agree.
And there's a culture thing that needs to change there, and it starts with Jerry Jones, and he's not going to
sell the team.
He's not going to put on the big boy pants and be like, I'm going to stop being like the general manager and I'm going to let somebody else pick the players. And unless he decides he's going to get over it and be like,
well, and who's the tight
But in
end?
reality, he's done a pretty good job actually. Thinking about picking Dallas has been relevant for. They haven't been to the
Forever.
They've been playoff quality, but they haven't won
Can't
it.
get over that hump.
But still, everyone's talking about him every year as being a probably Super Bowl contender.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, since Dak and Romo.
Right. You mentioned the culture thing. Who is that tight end that plays for the Texans now that played for Dallas before?
Schultz.
Dalton Schultz.
So he came out and said, I know we mentioned it earlier this season, or maybe even last season we talked about this, but how Dalton Schultz says, like, when you're with Dallas, the weight room's open to the public, like viewing to the public, like people can just come and watch you.
It's a spectacle.
Watch you work out. Oh yeah, it's a whole. But everything you do for the Dallas Cowboys is a spectacle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, I got a guilty pleasure show that I have to share because
Well, not Love Actually.
it's not-
or
it's
Love
not
Blind.
Blind.
Yeah.
It's the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader show.
that's an excellent show.
Excellent show.
And right now I'm probably turning red just talking about it. But it was an excellent show. Netflix did a really good job. But even like the cheerleaders, right? Everything's a production for the Cowboys. No matter
Right.
where you are in the organization, you're representing the Dallas Cowboys, and that's just that's wild to me.
Well, it's
So does that
entertainment.
part of it though? Like,
Yeah.
does that start to wear on guys? Like Micah Parsons was probably born for this, right?
I mean,
but
Totally.
That probably could be. Think about the Miami Dolphins last year. They were hot, and I don't want to correlate the two together, but as soon as they started doing the midseason hard knocks, they kind of just like fell off a cliff.
true.
Well, yeah,
And now-
Jalen Phillips got hurt too. And
Yeah.
their defense went to
Right. Like I said, I don't want to like draw correlations, but it would be interesting to see what happens with the NFC
Interesting.
North
yeah.
because this year's midseason hard knocks is all about the NFC North.
Oh, is it
Yeah, it's like all four teams.
interesting?
Well, I'm gonna have to tune into that. I did not know that.
I
Sign
don't
me
know
up.
how that affects it. What's the difference in that?
Yeah, like they're. I think with all the cameras constantly in their
Cameras,
face.
additional interviews, you're throwing off your practice schedule.
I think there's just so many cameras
There's, like,
these
you
days.
gotta
get
be-
in a
you
routine.
gotta,
I
your
get
creature's
it.
a habit.
Some aspects,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah, habit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Good
I-
point.
yeah.
Throw it off a little
To
bit.
each their own, I guess.
Right.
You know,
But
some
at the
people
same
handle it
time,
different.
they should
As
be
we're
used
in
to it
front
at
of
this point,
cameras
though.
right now.
Yeah.
Right. What? We are? Oh, man. With that, Kev, let's head right into Bonehead Move of the Week.
Please.
Do what? Oh, do what opener? Here we are, Bonehead Move of the Week. Brought to you by Smeltzy. Here I am. So honorable mention this week, just because I thought it was interesting. Wherever you are on the situation, we're not going to get political here. But Tyreek Hill was pulled over before or heading into the season opener.
Yep.
And then, thrown on the ground. It was a whole thing, right?
Forgot about it almost.
Everybody did. Well, those charges were just dismissed because those arresting officers didn't show up to the court hearing. So charges dismissed. One was already on leave, getting investigated, I guess, but whatever, So I don't know. I thought it was like, if you're at least gonna do it, at least show up, and plead your case or whatever it may be. Did not even do that. So Bonehead honorable mention to, would that be Miami Police? I don't know if it was a home game or not, but
It was a home game.
It was, yeah.
So whatever. Anyway, Bonehead Move of the Week is low key for me. And this is vague, right? I'm going to say the media, but specifically blowing up the story of neighbors coming out and calling the Giants as a team, I guess, soft this week. After this week's performance, he called the team soft.
He did.
And I'm actually in favor of neighbors. I know typically I might be a little soft on people in Bonehead Move, but I'm actually in favor of what neighbors said, like calling out the team, like, we got to be better, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get offended by being called soft. I don't know. On the football field, I don't know. You know what I mean? But the media kind of blew it out of proportion, and, he's like,
They never do
I could have
that. Never do that.
They never do that. Could have apologized for it or whatever, but just like, why do we got to take a story like that and run with it like that? You know what I mean? And again, it's all stories. That's how it works, right?
And it's New York.
And it's New York.
It is.
And
I
it's
mean,
New York.
if he's calling him soft on the private side, then I'm fine with it. I'm calling him soft in the media, but I don't like going to the media first and saying you're soft. Like that's how my approach.
So you don't want him to like so you're saying that privately, talking to your teammates and stuff like, hey, we're soft. Like this needs to
yeah,
we need to
and
pick
then
this
he's
up.
so fed up. He got to the point. He goes, all right, they're all soft,
Yeah,
Then I'm cool with that.
yeah, but you don't like if you go to the media first.
No. I liked, because football's a team sport. Like,
Oh, for
like
sure.
you're in your locker room,
can't win by
you're
yourself.
so with individuals for such a long period of time that like those conversations you should already be happening in the locker room,
for sure.
So
Fair enough. Do you have an opinion
No.
on this?
I don't.
No, just not at all. Nothing. Fair enough.
Listening.
Okay. Listening. What do you think, Jake?
I don't mind it.
From what side?
From neighbor's side.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point in time do you draw the line in the sand? And you're going to be
You're
interviewed.
playing for a 2-9 team right now.
Right. You're
Yeah.
gonna
That just released was supposed to be their franchise quarterback.
Right. So, I mean, how long are you going to stand there? And you're Malik Neighbors, you are now the face of the franchise.
he better be like
Yeah.
he
Yeah, he is.
he's
He
asking for it now.
Yeah, he
like
is.
you can't just say that and not,
Yep. Now he's got to show up
So
and show out.
Who's the head coach now? I really don't
Dayball.
know.
He's got to be on the
Ryan.
hot seat.
oh, he's totally.
I don't think
I
he
thought he
is.
was
You don't
already
think so?
gone.
No. Which is interesting to think that ownership still has the approval of the general manager and Brian Davis.
Yeah,
That they're
I
not-
haven't heard anything
that they're
either
not
about
they're
him really.
Probably going to be around next year, and they're going to continue to shop for new groceries.
And grab Shadur Sanders.
That's a topic of conversation for another time. I don't know.
You see Dion in New York?
Nope.
No.
No, I don't see Dion in the pros at all as a coach.
So you agree with that conversation last week, pretty much? Like Deion pretty much.
So
came
that's
out and
all
shut it
made
down,
up
but-
that Dion and his son have to go together. They're a package deal.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I don't buy that either at all. All right,
We
we're
will
getting
see.
we're getting
We'll
off
see.
base. We're
Bye.
getting off base. With that, Kev, let's head right into Week 13 preview and picks. All right, with our picks, let's start with, you know what, Jake, you haven't been here in a while.
I haven't.
Yes.
Arizona traveling to Minnesota. We have none at the moment, but
Yep.
what do you got?
Shortly.
Unfortunately,
Vikings over Cardinals.
Vikings over Cardinals.
I feel like it's going to be an easy one. Just looking at
Really?
the struggle bus of a stat line that the Cardinals had against the Sea Chickens last week. The Vikings offense as a whole is pretty balanced and strong. I mean, Hawkinson's back with a vengeance right now, which is super good to see.
He's playing very well.
And he balances everything, out with Oliver too. So I mean, you've got
Which we missed, I think. This
He was
week.
Oh
hurt
my
last
God,
week.
Johnny
Yeah,
Munt, you're awesome.
you got like
Best
you
third
got-
tight end in the league.
you got two solid tight ends. You're decent. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson. Addison shows signs of greatness too, as being a number 2. So I've no doubts that Vikings are gonna to beat the Cardinals. I don't think they're gonna flub it up like they did against
Flub
the
it.
Bears.
Okay.
So
I think it's straight W. First home
flubber.
game
yeah,
after 3 road vicks.
3
Yep.
road victories. Don't forget.
Road vicks.
When's the last time we won 3 road games in a row? I don't know. But
Not my
we
lifetime.
Did it.
I don't know.
It's
Probably never.
weird to
It's
even
good.
say that we
It's
won
fun.
3
I,
road
I
games.
think
don't
Kevin's
mind.
hitting up the Google
But that's
machine
how
to give us
hard
some
it is in the
facts.
NFL is to win
Yeah.
3 road games, even though the opponents weren't, let's say, contender level.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's not easy.
I'm going Vikings as well. No way they're going to lose at home to the Cardinals, but I think it'll be a little closer than we think. I think Kyler Murray's a hard guy to contain. James Conner has a game here and there, so I don't know. And, of course, Marvin Harrison, your guy. So,
Yeah,
he's there.
he
Trey
is my guy.
McBride's been coming up huge as of late, so it's going to be tough, but I would hope that the noise in there on defense will make it challenging for the Arizona offense.
I agree.
We need 18 to get that ball. It's going to be fun. Everyone's going to be excited to be back in U.S. Bank Stadium. Let's go.
Skull it up.
Skull to the bull. Skull to the bull. Rob, who you got?
I'm predicting straight W's for the purple. They are going to play a very competitive game. Actually, the Cardinals are going to be, I think, a little tougher. I'm with you on this aspect. Kyler is a tough individual to contain,
Tuffy.
especially against pressure style defense. Blitzes is where he can kind of sneak and be a headache. So I think we're going to see a little more sitting back on, maybe third down pressures. But I think we're going to sit back a little bit more on defense, which is going to drive Vikings fans absolutely nuts, especially if he gets something going. But
you got to be careful because if we're sending the house and he gets outside that, well, he's fast enough to take it to the house.
exactly, he's a game changer. He can make game-changing plays, So that's why I think we're going to sit back a little bit, and it's going to drive Vikings fans absolutely nuts.
Just let it play out in the first half. See what happens. Feel it out. It's a feel out.
Exactly,
half.
especially in the first hand. If we can keep them to a couple field goals let's say under 14 points, I'm gonna call that a win. And then it's just our offense, not making any dumb mistakes, and we should be able to take care of them pretty easy.
For sure. Everybody picking Vikings so far in our points here. That's not a surprise. Miami traveling to the Green Bay Packers. This one's a little bit more interesting. A lot of people up here seem to think Miami is going to make the playoffs.
Ooh,
Is this the
They've been
start of that
listening to
run?
me.
Are
They've
they
been
going
listening.
to get? They need to continue this win here.
What's their record right now?
Miami? Ooh,
5-6.
5 and
Yeah.
6.
Not out of it. Who do you got, Rachel?
You know what? I want Miami to win for my selfish Viking reasons. So
So far, I have 2 Miamis and 4
Ooh,
Packers.
Let's go. I mean, they're hot right now. Let's bring the heat to Green Bay.
Ooh, bringing the heat to Green Bay. Miami over the Packers.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Jake, who you got?
I'm torn.
No, this one's kind of tough.
It is tough.
It is a hard one. I'm gonna say I've been leaning it, so I'm gonna say it's gonna
He's been
be
thinking about it for a whole week.
Ruthless. I'm gonna take Dolphins over the Packers, even though
That a
they're-
boy.
Even though they're in Lambeau,
Dolphins over the Pack.
the Dolphins are getting healthy
Fins.
right now, and they are still really fast on the ends with their wide receivers, and Green Bay is going to be challenged with keeping up with that.
For sure. Going with the Dolphins.
Are you nervous?
Yeah,
Don't
because I'm gonna go
overthink
with
it.
because I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Do you want me to go first?
Nope, I just went, and I was thinking the Dolphins all day. I just picked these games before we started. I've been thinking about the Dolphins for the past hour and a
5
half.
minutes.
3 minutes.
30 seconds.
Because I thought, I'm thinking for sure that they're also, making a charge for the playoffs. I'm still not sold that they can make the playoffs. What I'm sold on is what I saw from Josh Jacobs last week, and I'm not sold on the Dolphins being able to contain him at home in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Missing Jair Alexander is going to be a thing. Missing McKinney would be a thing for the Packers.
Now we're talking about flipping
You
to
know
the
what I
other
mean?
side
But
now.
no, I'm not flipping it. I'm going with the Packers, and I really thought I was going to go Miami here. Wow,
No,
so-
you are though. I can feel it.
Nope,
It's coming.
It's done. It's in there.
Just
It's
get
in
'em
the.
up.
It's in
Just
the.
fins up.
It's in. Is that a thing? Fins up.
Oh,
Is
it
that
is
their-
now.
Is that their thing?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
totally
what-
is.
Is that what you're heading to?
That's
What are you, a cop? That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
that's
the
your
worst
that's your
question to
Vikings
ask.
Dolphins fan mix. You're like skull fins.
God dang it.
Hey,
Who
whatever.
you got? Who you got? Miami.
Dude, we're
Well,
doing
the
Fins.
Fins. The
We're going
Fins.
Fins. They're making the playoffs. I think the absence of the two guys on the back end is going to be the difference. I think the defense, and they're vibing right now down in Miami. They got their quarterback back, 2 wins in a row. That AFC is open to make the playoffs, so they got everything
They
to play
do
for.
need to win.
So I'm missing 2 people's picks out of our continuous people that are picking here, not including Mike. Mike, get your picks from me, homie. We're 5-5 right now in this game without Matt and
Perfect. Sorry for
Cody's
the other
picks.
5.
5. All right. Yeah, because all 3 of you
boy.
picked Miami. So God, why am I packing up the Packers right now? Anyway.
I know. Yeah, you really want to go and change that, don't you?
No, I don't.
All right, fine.
Philly traveling to Baltimore. Jake, you're last. Everybody's picking the Eagles so far, other than Dan. And just so you know, Dan's leading right now at 14-1 record.
Daniel.
So you could. Is that from last week? Or
Who
is
did
that,
he pick? Who did
yeah,
he
So I
pick?
just didn't get the score in there for Ravens and Chargers. But right now, who Dan pick?
Yeah.
Dan picked the Ravens. Are you
Okay.
stealing that? Everybody else so far has picked the Eagles. Ben, Tyler, Graham, Trey, Dom have all gone Eagles. Who you got? I'll go first with you now, since you're asking the most questions.
Well, I'm going Eagles. I'm
You're
on
going-
the
Why?
Eagles train. Oh, because Barkley needs 255 and 2 touchdowns again for my fantasy team. So we're just continuing in that train right now. No, I think
Talk about a test for that
it's,
defense.
It's going to
again.
be both games, but the Ravens defense, I don't think is going to be able to slow down the Eagles offense. It could be a 35-24 game, or even higher, a little closer, but I think at the end of the day, the Eagles have just been just pounding the ball all day long. And at second half, he's had 2-3 second halves in a row now where he's had 100, 150 yards in the second half. So they're just, yeah, exactly. You know how it's going.
Rachel, Eagles at Baltimore.
I'm gonna ask Jake a question though. Is their rushing defense? It's obviously better than their secondary for the Ravens.
Yes, it is.
So I'm thinking that
uh-oh.
might have something to do with it. But I just, Jalen Hurts may just have to throw the ball more, and we know he can. So they got both of those things going on offense. The Ravens just, if you got a quarterback that can just kill you with his arm or his legs, I don't know. I guess I'm going to lean towards the Eagles this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
But
all
I
those-
wouldn't
tough
mind
one, though,
if
for
the
you.
Ravens took them down because that would still help my Vikings.
All right.
Yeah,
fair,
for
fair.
sure. Good point.
So I'm going to pick Eagles and.
So then
I'm
you
really
hope
mad
for the
if
best.
You
Ravens-
win either way. You win either way.
I win either
Yeah,
way.
if they lose, it's for the Vikings.
It's all
win.
about moral victories here in
Exactly.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
obviously.
That's our passive aggressive.
Man, I'm gonna go with Ravens, and it's because I screwed up on my pick last week. Obviously, picking the Rams over the Eagles. Everybody went Eagles. I wanted to be different. That was dumb. And most people are picking Eagles this week, but Saquon's not going for 250 this week. He's just not. That was ridiculous.
270,
last week.
sorry.
Whatever.
Way
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But I don't know. I think they come back down to earth a little bit. It's if Baltimore's for real about making a run in the playoffs, I think this is a must-have game for them, just to show a force, literally. Just to show that, hey, we can take anybody right now because Eagles are hot, and I don't know. I think Derrick Henry's going to be able to show that he's also in consideration for the best running back in the league right
So
now.
this is your Bills versus the Chiefs pick from a couple of weeks
a little
ago.
bit, a
You're
little
like,
bit. I think Ravens got to have it. You know,
All right.
Ravens got to have this one. So, yeah, let me put it in here so I can't change it. Ravens. Whoop, there it is.
Boom.
Delete. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Jake.
All right.
Ooh,
he's
is he gonna
nervous.
pick? Is he gonna pick against the
Oh,
Ravens
go
right
on.
now?
So 2 weeks.
with a Rashad Bateman helmet in front of him.
So 2 weeks ago, right? It was Steelers Ravens, and I picked against the Ravens, right? Because I was just like,
He did.
Oh,
eh,
wow.
yeah, and
He did.
I told Smeltzy, I was like, I believe the Ravens are going to split with the Steelers this year.
Okay.
It'll be tough. So last game of the season, I think they've got Steelers, or maybe it's Christmas, whatever. No, Christmas is the
Now we're
Houston
making
game.
stuff up.
Anyway, yeah, I'm making things up.
I'm just kidding.
This is a really good game because both of these offenses are very similar to each other. So the difference is going to be how the front four, how those defensive lines hold up
The
against the run.
trenches.
Yep. And the Eagles have the advantage there, I believe. It goes through their defense, goes
Okay.
through Jalen Carter, and who's the other clown? Williams, I think, is the other.
And
Wow.
Graham.
Call him a
Well,
clown.
he tore like a tricep or something, so
Oh.
he's out for the season now.
Is he?
Yeah,
This last week?
yeah.
Oh,
Spoilers.
Damn.
No, but those two defensive tackles are gonna really put a lot of pressure on the Ravens' offensive line. So that's where the game's gonna be won and lost.
Did he pick yet?
No, I
I
haven't.
think he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
he's
started
trying to-
zoning out.
yeah.
I was like, wait a
So what's gonna happen
Checking
is
my sundial.
the winner of the game is going to be determined by Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry going out to midfield and just having a fist fight.
An arm wrestle?
Yes.
No, a fist fight, and
Fist
whoever
fight?
wins
Mine's
is
not
going
as
to
cool.
win the game.
No.
Because that's really what this is going to be. It's going to be a fist fight between two really strong offenses and
Okay.
defensive lines. All of that said, I'm still going to pick the Eagles.
Oh.
No way.
Yeah.
We both heard Ravens, and then
I
we
did,
computed
I did,
like,
I
no,
did.
he did say
I did.
Eagles. Wow,
I
going with
wasn't.
the
I mean,
Eagles.
I'm
Okay.
deaf in one ear, but I'm pretty sure I heard right.
For the sake of the pick. I love it.
I like your honesty, integrity.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I love
Damn.
it. All right. All right.
All right, Jake going with the Eagles. So at the moment, there's only 2 people that picked Ravens. So we won't repeat who they were. Moving on. Steelers traveling
The
to...
Ravens are totally winning now. Dang it.
Yes, yes.
You know,
they are.
I'm going to take that.
I know.
I'd rather be
You'd be
wrong
happy with
here.
that.
I know.
Yeah, right?
Sorry.
Steelers traveling to the Bengals. Right now we got 1, 2, 3 Steelers and 2 Bengals at the moment. I'm gonna go Bengals because I think they're making a charge to try to make the playoffs. I'm gonna go with TJ Watt is gonna be out with a strained ego and won't be able to play this week against the Bengals. So Bengals win this game.
All right, because that's back to what the question I asked earlier, and you said Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Out of the 3 teams I said that would
Correct.
make the playoffs.
Correct,
right?
because they're making a charge. For
There it
the playoffs.
is.
In a very hard division. It's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Cincy with you. I think Cincy's there's you look at statistically on offense. I mean, they're top 5 in the league, and I think they're starting to get a little bit warm. I think that defense is slowly getting. They're not
It's
great.
taking forever for that.
And
defense to
Hendrickson
get going.
what leads the league in sacks, but I don't think he's a difference maker. It's almost like remember we were talking about Daniil Hunter last year. He had a ton of sacks, but it didn't feel like he got
It wasn't
them
in, like,
when
the
they mattered.
biggest moments.
You know.
Yeah,
So like
mhm.
that's kind of that season for them. But I'm going Cincy.
Okay, you're going Cincy. Rachel, Steelers at Bengals.
Yeah. You know what? I like Joe Burrow. He's playing really well this year. He's got some of his best statistics of his career. And
Yeah, Joe
if their
Cool.
defense, they don't have to do that much because the Steelers' offense doesn't do that much. So if they can just, keep the secondary strong, I think they have a chance to win the game with their offense. So
Yeah,
I don't think they have to do that much.
I agree.
Who dat?
I think they need the Steelers defense to make a couple mistakes though, because that Steelers defense is
They're
good.
gamblers though.
They're
They're a defense that can make mistakes. They gamble. You just gotta get them.
Well, you got big division matchup.
Ooh.
Steelers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is really a tough week for you to make these picks. Isn't
It is. It is a tough week.
It's like you're twisting your own knife. It's just
Right.
weird to
It's like,
watch.
We're extending.
Can
we're
they
extending-
tie?
Yeah. Can they tie?
Can I pick the tie, please?
Oh,
I don't
For
wanna pick
bonus
the
points?
Packers.
Yeah. No, the Cincinnati Bengals offense is really good, but Mike Tomlin, that Steelers defense, when they're facing high-powered offenses, they always find a way to slow them down.
They
shut
do.
them down. Look what they did. Look what they did to Baltimore and the Ravens.
But it's in Cincy.
Doesn't matter. Defense travels.
Ooh, doesn't matter.
Wow.
Okay.
Ew.
All right.
Yeah.
Jamar
Steelers
Chase, you
getting
heard.
it
All
done.
right.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase put up over 203 tutties, and they still lost to the Ravens.
Fair.
It's not going to happen this time.
Fair.
LA Chargers traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. We haven't talked about the Falcons for a while. The last time we talked about the Falcons, they were doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're coming off bye.
They've dropped a couple. They are coming off a bye at home.
Chargers coming off a loss on a Monday night.
Chargers coming off a loss. Maybe no J.K. Dobbins. I wonder if there's an update on J.K. Now I gotta know. But anyway, Rachel, who you got in this one?
You know what? I think this is tough. Atlanta is so hot and cold. I don't
They
know
are.
They really are. Yeah.
what I'm going to get,
Oh,
and
well,
I don't
yeah.
care that much. So, yeah, I'd like to see them lose. I'm going to pick the Chargers. They won 4 in a row. They lost last week. So,
Revenge game.
I like Jim Harbaugh. Yes, let's go. Let's get this young squad hot. We need more NFC teams losing anyway. So that's why I'm picking Chargers.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
you're
enough.
picking with your heart.
Yeah, always.
Picking with your heart. At the moment, everybody is taking Chargers other than Dan.
Really?
Again, our leader going with Atlanta.
Interesting.
I am also going to take the Chargers. I think they bounce back from that L, and I just might as well take them since I did wear the jersey this week. Obviously, I'm a Skull to the Bull fan, but
I don't
AFC
get
team
why
is the
everyone's in
Chargers.
love with them.
With who?
The Chargers. I don't get it.
I think
Because
J.K.
they're
Dobbins will end up
6
playing.
wins against
hopefully.
losing teams.
No, it's who they have. Who that roster is. It's
'Cause
they're
they
in
have
love
cool
with
colored
they're in love-
jerseys?
No, not even. They're in love. They are cool, but they're in love with how the Chargers look on paper, though. That's the thing.
Oh,
And I
like
agree. I
the
agree.
same color paper as the
No.
shirt or what?
This guy over
What's
here
your
is not.
affinity for the Chargers? What's your affinity?
Why do I like them?
Yes. I
That
don't
was
know.
LaDainian Tomlinson's
Well,
fault
I
in my
know.
Because
childhood.
LaDainian Tomlinson
That's
looked
solid.
really good in powder blue.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Really good.
Him and Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna make my pick here since
Fine.
Lanium Town's not playing this game. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons and who I picked to win the division. I think Kirko's
That's the only reason why you won.
coming hard to this. Robinson's gonna
It's a
ball
winnable
out.
game for them.
And yeah, I think off a bye week they kind of got embarrassed 2 weeks ago, so I think they're coming out. I think Atlanta's gonna prove that they're gonna win that division in the South and take it by the reins.
Atlanta taking it by the reins.
6-5 Atlanta, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
they're winning. They have a winning record, so that means the Chargers can't beat them
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
the Chargers have a winning record too, but I guess that.
against losing teams.
But
That wasn't the same argument for Atlanta. Is Atlanta's? We're not getting into that.
Exactly.
Jake.
Good night.
Jake.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up strong. We're gonna take Atlanta at home, even though they're 3-3. The question of J.K. Dobbins and his condition is gonna be tough. Obviously, we all saw that the Chargers lost something once Dobbins
100%.
Yeah,
left the game. So,
we're all picking the
yeah,
Chargers.
Falcons have. I think Falcons have better tools at Kirk Cousins' disposal than just being at home. And then I saw a article that the Falcons are going to try coming out of the bye to do more play action, which is something that they haven't been doing, right?
Oh, they should have been doing.
Right,
more
they
of
should
that,
have been
yeah.
doing with Bijan.
They've done it a little bit.
We
but-
talked about this week 1 in the pistol.
Yeah,
Remember
Yeah,
that whole?
they- yeah, they-
and then they got rid of the pistol.
They didn't listen to us.
I know, but
man, maybe they should be listening to us.
I think I
Well,
was
because
watching
we've
tape,
stared at
yeah.
Kirk Cousins for 5 years. We know he's one of the best play action quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the league, and you have Bijan, so it's no brainer. That sucks. I didn't know that. I still won't change my answer.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
not. But
I'm picking Falcons.
fair enough. Fair enough. Picking the Falcons. Kev, if you can, why don't you put that thing back up there for us? Yeah. So if you take a look there, Dan leading us right now with a
What's up, Dan?
14-1 record. with a 933 save percentage. Hockey. Win percentage. Rachel coming in at second right now with an 800 win percentage at 8.
Rachel.
Holler.
Tyler, our season leader so far for multiple weeks now. In third at the moment with a 7-11.
Slipping.
7-11 win
Just like
percentage.
the Packers are
Not
about
even
to do.
32-13 record.
Yeah,
It's
about to
that's
slip.
pretty-
I
that's
just,
pretty
I just
nice.
feel it's getting wintery
Yeah,
and
okay.
slippery in
Yep,
that
yep.
area.
Jake coming in at fourth right now with a 683 win percentage.
Crawling back.
Ben at fifth with a 660 win percentage. And you got Robert. What did I say before? Fifth, right? I didn't put numbers in here. So sixth with a 650 win percentage. What comes after 5? Trey in seventh with a 640
heard your
win
name yet.
percentage. Eighth is Smeltzy with a 633 win percentage. Ouch.
Oh.
Ninth is Matt with a 611 right now. Tied for 10th, Graham and Cody with a 600 win percentage right now. And then you got Dom bringing up the rear at 467 at the moment. So Dom looking for another big week here. He went 3-2 this week. So hey, that's a winning record.
Yeah, hey, in the
He's gonna
comments,
climb.
throw out your guys' picks. Let's throw it
Might
out
as
there.
well.
Let's see what you.
They're probably going to be like, I'd pick different games. Like, what do we say to that?
Well, it's easy to pick the easy
gotta
games.
Come on the show?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean.
Exactly.
But Rachel, it's been a blessing. Thanks for being here for the last
Thanks,
2
guys.
weeks. Have you had fun? Last week maybe.
I've
This
had
week
a
did you have
blast
fun too?
bantering with you boys.
Good, good.
Oh,
We're happy to have you. Maybe we'll see you again this season. Never know.
Playoffs.
Never know.
playoffs.
And then Jake, welcome back. Thanks for being on the show
it's
again.
great to be back.
Yeah, it is. Go
And your team's still
Baltimore.
relevant, so
They are.
I like the purple. You got the purple and the gold. You can
Yeah.
fit in with us
Yeah.
anytime.
Go Cravens. Did you see that commercial last
No.
night?
No.
Oh, okay.
Go Cravens.
Yeah.
Was it for the Crave?
No,
cereal
for
or something?
No,
Now I
for
look
the
dumb.
the Marvel movie Craven.
oh.
I know it's kind of a stretch, but check it out. It's funny and dumb.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless
Check it
plug.
out.
There it is.
And then next to me, of course, last but not least, or last but always least, Rob.
It's been fun. I love it. It's go time right now. It's the best
This is
time of the
going
year.
Hey,
You know,
we're leading up to it.
as a Vikings fan, and I feel like we're already in the playoffs. So, but it's trying to still win that division title.
Yeah,
So
every game matters. Every
does
game
still.
matters. Yeah. With that, obviously, once again, I'm Smeltzy here every week
Best
with
host.
Rob for the rest of the season. With that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe wherever you get the banner, whether that's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And don't forget, happy Thanksgiving this week.
Happy
And,
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Tune in next time for more Banter with the boys.